Hello, good day, guys. My name is Nick, technical analyst of SuperForex. Today we shall be looking at a technical analysis on the currency pair USD CHF. And first, we'll be talking about fundamentals before we move right down ahead to technicals, which is purely what we're going to be seeing on the chart. Now, we have noticed that the USD CHF slides further below 0.9300 as panic over Credit Suisse crisis subsides. Currently, USD CHF has come under heavy selling pressure on Thursday and snaps a two-day winning streak on the daily time frame. And positive news surrounding the Credit Suisse saga boosts that the CHF and the little drags of the pair lower, while a softer USD has also contributed to this slide, though the hawkish Fed expectations could limit losses. Now, the USD CHF pair attracts some bit of sellers near the 0.9340 area on Thursday, and it has eroded a part of the previous day's massive rally of over 220 pips. This is the biggest single-day rise we have seen the pair do since 2015. Now, the pair continues drifting a bit lower through the early European session and slides back below the 0.9300 mark, hitting a fresh daily low in the last hour. And now the Swiss franc strengthens in reaction to a positive development surrounding the Swiss lender Credit Suisse and turns out to be a key factor dragging the USD CHF pair lower. So in fact, the troubled Swiss bank announced that it will exercise an option to borrow up to $54 billion from the Swiss National Bank to shore up liquidity. Adding to this, the Saudi's National Bank's chairman, Amr Al-Qudari, reportedly said that panic surrounding Credit Suisse is unwarranted and that regulators are ready to plug holes when they appear. This has come rather after the Saudi National Bank, the largest shareholder of Credit Suisse Group, ruled out another call for additional liquidity as at Wednesday and helps ease fears of a full-blown global banking crisis. And of course, this in turn dents the US dollar's status as the global reserve currency and exerts additional downward pressure on the USD CHF pair. Now, what is really in the books is the reviving bet for at least a 25 BPS rate hike by the Federal Reserve at its upcoming meeting on March 21st to 22, which could limit any deeper losses for the greenback and lend some support to the majors. Nevertheless, we are seeing that spot prices for now seem to have snapped a two-day winning streak as traders now look to fresh US macro data for a fresh impetus, while our Thursday's economic docket features the release of the usual weekly initial jobless claims, the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, building permits, and housing stats. This, along with the European Central Bank-inspired volatility, might influence the buck and the USD CHF pair. Now, on a technical aspect, levels to watch. Today's last price has been at 0.9288, while the total daily change is, of course, minus 0.0043, with a percentage of minus 0.46%. And today's daily open was at 0.9331, and the daily SMA 20, 50, 100, and 200, we have it to be 0.9316, as well as 0.9626, and also 0.938. And finally, for the daily SMA 200, we have it at 0.95553. Now, our previous daily high at 0.9338. Previous daily lows, we have it at 0.9123. While previous weekly highs, we have it at 0.9439. And previous weekly lows, we have it at 0.9175. While our daily Fibonacci 38.2% at 0.9256. And daily Fibonacci of 61.8%, we have it at 0.9205. So if we were to make an entry to this trade, taking off from the reversal, we are looking to have our TP1 at 0.93420, and that is approximately 50 pips from that entry point. Of course, ranking that is good investment plan. And an extension, we are looking out for 0.9420 axis. And this is at about 130 plus pips from that entry, of course. Good money. Alternatively, we can see that if this tests the resistance point and probably bounce back, we're looking out for reversal to have a ranging chart. So this should be at about 95 to 100 pips, and a range of 100 pips could occur for 2-3 hours or so before, 2-3 days before we see a total direction from USD CHF. And that's our technical analysis on today's currency pair USD CHF. Now let's move over to the stock markets. Hello, welcome back, guys. And on today's stock market, we'll be having a look at Pepsi. And recently, we have seen the story behind Pepsi, Friesland, Campina asked suppliers to stop buying the AAL palm oil. For instance, US soda maker and food maker Pepsi and Dutch dairy producer Friesland Campina have asked their suppliers to cease buying palm oil from plantation owners Astra Lestari, accused by environmental groups of land and human rights abuses. Now, this has been headlining for quite some weeks now, and this has been showing signs of activity on the market because corporate supply chains are under scrutiny as regulators and investors are increasingly consider environmental and social impact. And as consumers, of course, worry about climate change and biodiversity loss. Now, one thing we should know about this is that environmental groups last year found that Jakarta-based palm oil producer Astra Lestari did not just obtain consent from local communities before claiming land, improperly disposed of waste and clearly areas leading to flooding in far as Indonesia. Now, this, of course, has been having an effect on that stock, AAL. But now we have seen that Pepsi asked suppliers to stop buying AAL palm oil. Now, this has raised some concerns in the market because it's a huge supplier of the activities of Pepsi. And we might be noticing a decline for some time or slow growth to the upside for the Pepsi Corporation. So what to expect? We are looking out for reversal because this already looks like a lot of momentum losing out here, and a reversal to the market could be in the books. So what to expect from this? We place a trade at this point, and we're looking out for a sell trade, of course. And if the market goes down below the 174.21 threshold, we are looking at a free fall to the next zone at 171.47, which is about 51 pips, 51 pips from that entry point. We can call that good money. And that's our technical analysis on today's stock market, Pepsi. I remain your host, Nick. Bye for now.